All right, today's video is going to talk about our Berkey filtration system. This is for drinking water, and our health and well-being has been trusted to the Berkey for close to 5 years. Gonna keep it simple, show you how it works. About once a month we take it apart and clean it and start fresh so it doesn't get scummy. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. All right, so the gravity-fed Berkey water filtration system is all gravity fed, no electricity needed. All you do is pour water in the top, and throughout the day it will gravity feed and filter down into the lower canister where it holds your water. The top portion, I believe, holds about 2 gallons. The bottom holds about 2.5. That way it does not overflow. Now you definitely have to keep an eye on things to keep your water level at adequate level. To check it once in a while, they do have attachments that have a clear tube that you can monitor your water level. We just kind of peek in there once in a while and throw a gallon of water in there every so often. Here is your black filter. Ours will take up to 4 of these in the top, and you can put as little as 1 in there. The more filters you have, the faster it will filter down the 2 gallons in the top down to the bottom. You can go as little as 1, or you can go as many as 4, and it will filter down quickly. So the Berkey is made to sit on a tabletop or a kitchen counter like you see here. Berkey, I'm sure, has their own stands that you could use with their units. We bought a cheapie off of Amazon for what, 15 bucks? Fairly inexpensive. What this does is allow you to get a cup underneath your spout so you can fill cups, mugs, and pitchers full of water. Right here, cheap $1 pitcher from Wally World or the dollar store. Slides right underneath our spout here. We can fill it up, and vice versa. Take water from our faucet over here, fill up the top. Pretty simple. Doesn't need a lot of explanation, but we are due for our once every month or 2 cleaning of our filters. So our black Berkey filters will filter up to 3,000 gallons apiece. So we have 2 of them in there, so we can filter 6,000 gallons with our pair of black Berkey filters. Now these are kind of expensive. I believe these filters are about 80 or 90 bucks a piece, so that's $180 for a pair. But 3,000 gallons of drinking water is quite a bit of water. All right, so you do not have to clean your Berkey filters very often. Once every month or 2, we simply put them under the kitchen faucet and scrub them with a clean, slightly abrasive Scotch-Brite cloth or sponge. You have just a little bit of abrasion. That cleans off any sediment that would build up on your black Berkey filter. So let me show you how these can be cleaned, and I'll show you how they're installed in the top portion of the Berkey filter. So your black Berkey filters all come with an O-ring on the bottom. This O-ring or gasket presses against the seal and has a screw type nut that goes on the end. This goes on the other side of the stainless steel portion of the Berkey. I will show you this in a few seconds. So we're simply going to scrub this lightly. Once every month or 2, depending upon how often you use them and what kind of water you're putting into the unit. Our water is filtered prior to coming to the cabin with a sediment filter and a 1 micron filter. So our water is pretty clean. Now after about a month, you can tell it has like a little bit of a slimy feel to it. Slippery feel. That's what we're removing here with our scrubbing pad. Like I said, not hard, nothing too abrasive. Another thing people have issues with when purchasing new Berkey black filters is priming them. Ours we had some issues with as well. They come with an extra gasket that slips over your stem here, and you're going to have to either put the stem and this into a faucet and turn the pressure. You're basically pressurizing the inside of the filter, and it's pushing all the air out of your filter itself. That's going to help once you put the filter inside your canister. So once you've primed your unit, what all I did was, because our faucet wouldn't allow the stem to go into it on our kitchen, I took a garden hose, which has obviously no interior aerator or anything like that. Pushed the hose onto it, pushed it hard against this gasket, and you could see the water pushing all the air bubbles out of the filter itself. This allows proper flow. Soaking these for a day or two prior to using them is probably also an okay method. We also did that. We put them in the pitcher after we primed them, let them float in the water / stay submerged in the water for a couple days. This is going to help your filter work better when you're ready to use it. So here's our canister. This is where we put our dirty water or unfiltered drinking water. Not quite drinking yet, so all stainless steel. This is where our filters go. I have previously removed them prior to showing you all this. We have 2 holes that are plugged with plugs. As I said before, this canister is built to allow 4 filters. We have 2 of them plugged with the filter plugs that come with them, and this is where our 2 filters are going to be installed. It's been about, like I said, a month or 2 since we've cleaned this unit. It's not dirty, but it does have a slight odor to it from continuously using it for a month or 2 without cleaning. So they say to sanitize it. I just wash it with hot water and dish soap and make sure we clean it real well and rinse it real well so we don't have soap in there. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll show you how to install the filters. Here's what one of these plugs look like that go through. It's probably about a 1/2-inch hole in the bottom of the canister. Has a gasket on both ends, both sides of the stainless steel canister. Squeezes together, plugs the hole, watertight seal. I'm also going to remove these and clean them while I'm doing this. Alright guys, so I was just realizing that, it's smart to clean the bottom section too. Unfortunately, we have 2.5 gallons of fresh water in there, but we'll fill up a couple water bottles in our coffee maker and our water pitcher for the fridge, and then we'll clean the bottom part too. And then I'll show you how to put everything back together. Our Berkey also came with a rubber grommet for the bottom. I'm not sure if they all come with that. It's like a ring that goes on the very bottom of the Berkey to help keep it in place and keep it solid. So there's our nice clean bottom canister. Back in place. Easy peasy. Canister, 4 holes. Here's our plug. Gasket. In from the inside. Filter, gasket, very important. Now the threads on the filters are thinner and finer than the ones on the plugs. So you need to make sure when you snug these down, you don't over crank them. Gasket on the inside. I snug them down until they feel like they're about to break. Not till about to break, but until you can almost feel when they're gonna strip out. Like that. That's stripped out. So we need to snug it down. Not quite so tight. There we go. One more time. Gasket, very important. So guys, the black filters from Berkey capture and eliminate 99.999%, I believe, of bacteria and viruses. So you could use water directly from an outside source, river, lake, directly rainwater. We use our faucet water, which is rain collection, but it is filtered through a sediment filter and a 1 micron filter prior to going in the Berkey. The 1 micron filter for the cabin is a simple setup, but it does not eliminate viruses and all bacteria. So we want to make sure that our drinking water is done with this here Berkey. And again, been using this for around 5 years, and we have not gotten sick or died yet. So we trust Berkey for our drinking water needs and cooking water needs, and it's worked really well for us. So a little bit of maintenance, a little bit of work to fill it up. We top it off with a gallon of water from the pitcher 2 or 3 times a day. So we use about 2 or 3 gallons of drinking water and for miscellaneous things per day. Now, if you're doing this process, I recommend you putting a little bit of water in here before you put it on your Berkey and fill it all the way up. I've done that before and had a leaky gasket, so it was dripping water around the outside of the filter and not through the filter, and that won't obviously protect you. So I'm going to put a little bit of water in here prior to setting it up and see if we have any drips outside of the filters. Obviously your plugs could leak too if they're either under tight or possibly not in there correctly. I'll fill this about 1/4 of the way up, just so it has a little bit of pressure on it, and we'll see if it's dripping at all. Now obviously the water in here will start filtering through the filters, so it will drip a little bit, but I want to double check it, make sure it's not leaking, like I said, anywhere other than through the filter stems. No leaks. No leaks. Our filters are going to take a little while to start passing water. Oh, see? There we go. Starting to drip now. That's about the pace you get. A drip every couple seconds. So the Berkey is not a fast method, but it is an effective method. We have found the best way to do it is just, like I said, every time you're washing dishes or by the sink, dump a 1/2 gallon or a gallon of water in it. Or, a gallon or 2 at night if you forget to do it throughout the day. Filling the top canister of the Berkey is very important, but do not fill it to the tippy top and have 1/2 of a bottom canister or more, because it's going to overflow at night while you're sleeping or when you're not using the unit. You're going to come back to it and it's going to be overflowing. We've done that a few times, and it's not a fun experience, or not a good situation. So all right. Drip, drip, drip. So about 2 gallons, 2 to 2.5 gallons of water on the top. Maybe it's 2.5 on the top and 3 gallons on the bottom. We'll find out right now. Obviously, the filters will drip faster when it's more full because there's more surface area of the filter covered. So I'm going to assume the top holds 2.5 gallons because I put 2 full gallons. There's about 1 inch left in there, and we had about 1/4 of a gallon before. So it is 20 minutes to 6. We have an empty Berkey. Let's see how long it takes to transfer all this water. It is dripping significantly faster now that I clean the filters and that there's a full canister of water above it, or pot of water. Little trick I learned, I used the shiny mirror image of the lid so I can see in there so I don't overfill it. It took me about a year to figure that out. So, good stuff, guys. You can hear that draining in there now. It's almost like too fast. So we'll catch up with you guys when it's full. Let you know how long it takes to fill it up. Alright, so it's been a little less than 3 hours and the whole Berkey has filtered down to the bottom canister. So just for reference, with 2 filters, you can get about 2.5 gallons of water filtered in less than 3 hours. Just less than 3 hours. So guys, on end note, the Berkey has taken really good care of us for many, many years. There is a little bit of an upfront cost to purchasing the Berkey, and the filters aren't extremely cheap. But yeah, we're very happy with it to be able to drink water for close to 5 years, and we've only changed the filters 1 time. We're very happy with it. So we'll put some links in the description box below to a few things that we talked about here, the Berkey probably itself and the filters. And you can find that stuff quickly and easily. And also, I'd like you guys to tell me what you do for drinking water if you don't have a Berkey. There's a lot of different options and different generic type systems, and I like to hear if they work well. So make sure if you have any suggestions or comments or things that might help me or others to leave them in the comment section below. Also, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I try to do a really good job of replying to all my comments. And if there's something I missed in this video, ask it in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to help if I can. So if you enjoyed the video or you learned a little something, make sure you give us a like. The thumbs up button's right there under the screen, and subscribe to our channel if you'd like. We've been building a cabin here at Off Grid with Jay and Jen for close to 5 years. We've had a lot of fun here, and we talk about some things that we've done over the last few years. We do a lot of solar stuff, a lot of building projects, and a lot of water projects too as well. And we're getting into more homesteading and gardening and stuff like that as well. So join us, hit that subscription button, and we hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks for hanging out with us. Best wishes.